Hello everybody, I want to make a video on how to do the LCD/digitizer repair on a LG G2. I noticed there wasn't any videos online for this. I made one before, but it kind of got cut out because my camera was not doing so well, so I'm going to try to make this all in one video and hopefully everything will work okay. So anyways, first thing I wanted to show you is this is the new LCD. There's a connector here and there's connectors down here. And this is the parts you need to take off of the back of this phone. So this connects down like this onto the logic board. This one here folds over, if you can see that or not, but this one's going to fold over and connect up, and this one's going to connect down like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this phone apart and then we're going to pop off those connectors. And I want to show you this. It's a little tricky. So if you've never done a phone before, definitely take your time. If you have done a phone before, then kind of keep an eye out. Use this video as an aid, because I kind of had to figure this out on my own, and there was a couple of tricks to it, so that way you don't want you to break anything. So first thing you're going to do is we're going to take this out by using a pry tool. This back cover just pops right off. I'm using this guy here. And I'm going to use my fingernails and try to get into the phone. It just popped. So now I can get this in here. And then just slide it up and it'll pop. Oop. So that's coming out. Comes off fairly easily once you can get it going. There we go. And this comes off pretty easily, I noticed. Of course, always be careful pulling it off, because sometimes they have tape on them, sometimes they don't. So far I've done about 5 of these and none of them had tape, but you never know. So always be careful, because they like to change stuff. So I'm moving that along the side. So here's what the back of the phone looks like. There's a bunch of screws here that need to be unscrewed. There's a black screw right there, which goes right there, so keep an eye on that, because that's the only one that's different. And then there's some screws down here that need to be unscrewed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. Just using a Phillips screwdriver, electronics Phillips screwdriver. And I'm setting these aside in order that they came out. It's a good habit to get into if you when you're working on phones. Just set everything. I do everything from right to left in a row, and then when I put stuff back together, I go left to right, and that way I don't put things in before the other things need to be put in and stuff like that. So it works really well. Good habit to get into. Keeps everything organized, especially if you're working on iPhones where every screw is a different size. You definitely want to keep everything in order. So highly recommend that. So I'm still taking these screws out. There's a total of, let's see, I've got 6 here on the top of the silver. I'm taking out that black one now. That's screw number 7. Looks like there's a total of 8 on the top, with 7 silver and 1 black. No, I take that back. There's a total of 7. This one in the middle here is actually for the bottom piece, which needs to come out as well. So I know this isn't the best camera. I'm actually filming with an S4. I just kind of taped it onto my my little light fixture here in my shop. So it's definitely not the most high-tech device, but it gets the job done. Hopefully get you guys going so you can fix these phones without making any mistakes. Hopefully have you learn from my mistakes. So, okay, we got all those screws out. So all those screws are out. Now this top piece here ends right here. if you can see that. And this bottom piece here is just right there. So I'm going to take this top piece out here. I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, I'm back. So I'm taking the top piece out, just using my fingernail to kind of get underneath it and using the pry tool. Trying to make it pop. There, of course, be careful doing this. Now that top piece just came off. Set that aside. And now I'm going to work on the bottom piece. Using my fingernail, go underneath this thing, and I'm going to use a pry tool to slide under here and see if I can... Actually, I just remembered on these ones, I'm going to use this little poker thing, dental tool I have, because there's clips right here that hold it in place. So if I can get those out, this comes off pretty easily. So I'm kind of using my dental tool and kind of just poking at it. And should come out here, getting it going. We got one of them out. I think I got the second one. Oh, gotta be careful. Had to move away from the camera for a sec because I had to see what I'm doing. But basically, I just poked in here and this eventually came out. So it looks like it's the Wi-Fi antenna, I'm assuming, and the external speaker. And there's some ground stuff there, or that's a connector for those things to work. So okay, so here's what the back of the phone looks like. Now here's the tricky part. This whole piece right here, which has your power button, volume up, volume down button, this actually pops off and is attached to this piece here, and down here is all actually one piece. There's also this little ground or whatnot, or some sort of connector there. So make sure that gets taken off because you don't want to tear that. That's all you got to do is take that off, and then all the other connectors will come off. First of all, here's this connector here, which is for the top of the screen. That guy. So what we're doing is we're taking these connectors off, and then we're going to take a heat gun and a pry tool and get around here, and this thing will just pop right out. So save us the time and hassle. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm taking off this connector here, and then this connector here. Those are from the screen as well, or the LCD as well. Then there's this antenna connector. There's an antenna connector there. Of course, be careful. These antenna connectors can break easily. Making sure those are loose and out of the way. Okay, so now there's two connectors here. Those come off. 1, 2. Now this thing, I'm just gently pulling on it. This whole top piece is going to come off, which has the power button and the volume button on it. Oh, come on. Looks like this one is being a little stubborn than the other one. Let's see, that power button is not wanting to... Okay, we're just going to do that. We're going to leave the power button on, actually. Sometimes it'll come off with it. This time it didn't, so I just disconnected it and taken off these little wing devices. Now this piece needs to come out. So I'm using another little dental tool. I'm going to get underneath it and pull it off. That way it doesn't tear off. And then I'm just gently peeling this off of the back of the battery. So like so. Get this antenna out of the way. And this is just about done. So that's coming up a little bit. So I'm kind of... Now next step is... Oh, this is something very important. Here's your microphone. If you can see that. If my camera will focus. There it goes. That's your microphone. This needs to come out of its boot assembly. This little rubber piece comes out. Set that aside. And your microphone device. See how that came out? So that needs to come off. So that's the tricky stuff. Make sure that doesn't come off, because if you tear that, you got to replace that whole bottom piece, and that's money out of your pocket. I haven't even checked how much those cost. They might be expensive. They might not be that much. This phone is a pretty new phone, so it's definitely not the cheapest parts as of yet to get. So don't want to be breaking anything more than you can. More than you do. So I'm just using this poker, and that just popped right off. Okay, now we can take the LCD off. So here's the back parts of the LCD. You can see from the new one. Always use this as a reference if you need to, especially your first time. But that piece right there is going to be this piece here. So I'm peeling that up. Of course, I'm being gentle with it. I'm using my little dental tool. And there it goes. That's all completely loose, and that's loose. Now the next step is to heat this up, and we will get it off of here. So I'm taking my heat gun. This comes off pretty easily. Just heating around the corners. Getting those nice and warm. Now I'm going to use my Sesamo tool, which, where did that go? There it is, my Sesamo tool. I love this little guy. I recommend to buy this. I got it on eBay for a couple bucks. I use it for everything, and it works amazingly well. So, anyways, but I'm just getting under. Now I'm digging kind of deep because I have to get underneath the LCD as well. So I'm trying to get underneath both of them. I'm not too concerned because this thing's already broken. So if I break it, not a huge deal if I break the LCD, because I'm replacing the whole thing anyways. But yeah, anyways, so that's what you're gonna do. So I'm just kind of going around here, getting underneath. So I got underneath that pretty well. And just working on loosening this up. There we go, I'm underneath it. A little bit of pulling on this and it should come out pretty good. I'm going to just slide it on up here. And it's just about, of course, take your time best you can. That connector's on that side, so I'm just seeing where things are. And I'm just starting to lift. I'm making sure I'm underneath the LCD, if you can see that. My pry tool's underneath it, so I'm lifting. And then of course I'm being careful because I have that connector there. So I went around and I'm going down here, and I'm underneath the LCD again. So I'm just kind of pulling on it, and this thing will come off here pretty soon. Sliding down this side. Kind of working around this adhesive here, and we're just about done. So that should pop right out. This bottom piece probably is glued on a little bit. And there, comes right out. So there you go, that's how you take it off. It's about 15 minutes I've gone into this. And then what you need to do is just, put the new one on. But that's the gist of it. Notice I didn't take out the battery or anything like that. It was not necessary to do that. So, yeah, best of luck to you. Ask me any questions you have. I'll be more than happy to help you as best I can. So, thanks for watching.